Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So today we're going to start a new series called the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Prophet Muhammad series of his characteristics and qualities and the Sunnahs. Today we're talking about empathy or lost Sunnah as in the title of this video. So let's start. The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said in Bukhari, none of you will believe until you love for your brother what you love for yourself. And in Surah Qalam, Allah mentions our beloved Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, saying that he is of great moral character. And so simply put, this means there must be something very special that we can learn from him and his character. Indeed, truthfulness, honesty, and good behavior were the most important aspect of the character of Muhammad ﷺ. However, in today's khutbah, is it a khutbah? I don't know. It's kind of, let's say khutbah. You will be going through a certain element of the Prophet ﷺ's character that has been left behind. We will be talking in depth about empathy. You know what empathy is? Sort of sounds like sympathy. No, sympathy means understanding the situation. But empathy means feeling. It's feeling what the pain. Now, sympathy means to understand their pain, but empathy means to feel their pain. This is what Muhammad ﷺ had, which can be easily said as a lost sunnah, empathy. Unfortunately, we are so distant from the idea of empathy, let alone the practice of it, that we don't sometimes even know what the word means. We do know it sounds something kind of like sympathy, but sympathy is to understand where somebody else is coming from, to acknowledge somebody else's pain, which I just said. I'm just saying it so you can really get it. Empathy is to feel their pain. The Prophet ﷺ exhibited this beautiful, unbelievable quality of empathy, and so I will share 3 stories to demonstrate this. These examples of his empathy are in regard to different people, how he would practice his empathy with different people, emphasizing on fact that it didn't matter who it was. It doesn't matter what race you are, it doesn't matter if it's your enemy, your greatest enemy, it doesn't matter who it is. When Ikrama ibn Abu Jahl came to meet the Prophet ﷺ. One time, a son of Abu Jahl came to visit the Prophet ﷺ for context. Abu Jahl was a man who declared war against Prophet ﷺ. So imagine this person who wanted to kill all the Muslims, was the greatest enemy of Islam. And his son came to meet him. He had killed Muslims just for believing. He had tortured Muslims just for believing. And he was the head of multiple plots to assassinate the Prophet ﷺ. It is then no surprise as to why the Prophet ﷺ referred to him as the Fir'aun of his ummah. So he's the Fir'aun of this ummah. He eventually led an army into the battlefield with the intent of killing the Prophet ﷺ and as many Muslims as possible. This man made it very clear what his position was in regards to the Prophet ﷺ and Islam, and eventually he died with those same convictions. His son Ikrama, who had fought by the side of his father in the fact, continued his father's work, and after his father's death, and now he's come to Mecca to meet the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ received the news, Al-Ikrama has entered Mecca, and he is on his way to see you. The Prophet ﷺ turned to his companions and said, his father's name was Amir ibn Hisham, and they used to call him Abu Abdul Hakam, father of the wise, which means, because he was a leader of his people. But the Muslim used to call him Abu Jahl, father of arrogance, because of his actions and his conduct. The Prophet ﷺ turns to the Muslims, the believers, and he says, Al-Ikram is coming, and I am hopeful that he will embrace and accept Islam. So in his presence, none of you should refer him to his father as Abu Jahl, because it would hurt his feelings. I mean, it would hurt your feelings, even if your father was really evil. To call him Abu Jahl, like if someone come up to you, and your father's a bad person, you know that, and he said Abu Jahl to your father, like father arrogance to your father, you don't like it, would you? And see, he knew his situation, his empathy. He said, you know what? Just because he is son of him, so in his presence, you must call him Abdul Hakam, so it doesn't hurt his feelings, because that was the empathy he had. This is the consciousness of the Prophet ﷺ. This is his empathy. He was able to put himself into Ikrimah's shoes and understand how he would feel in this situation. This is what we need to do in day-to-day life. Okay, so another story. I said I'm going to do 3, but I'm going to do 2 now, because it's getting long. Okay, the death of a chief hypocrite. One of the main conspirators against the Prophet ﷺ, the head of the Munafiqun in Medina, was Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul. He worked very hard through his life in order to humiliate the Messenger of God ﷺ, to prevent his development of Islam and set Muslims against one another. He cast many grave aspirations on many people in order to realize his evil aim, such as the famous story of the the slander of Aisha radiallahu anha. He committed horrific deeds in order to destroy the solidarity among Muslims when they needed solidarity most. However, all of his attempts failed due to the help of God Almighty subhanahu wa ta'ala and his precautions of the Messenger of God sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So when his son, who was a believer, came to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam saying that my father has died, and though I know he was completely obsessed to you, and he was said terrible things about you and your family, he was my dad and I worry about him. The Prophet ﷺ on the spot removed his shirt, took off his own shirt, and he gives it to him, and he says, wrap him in this, use this as his shirt and bury him in that. I mean, what a blessing would it be, the shirt of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ himself, you to be wrapped and buried in that. What a blessing. But this doesn't necessarily mean his sins have been forgiven. His sins are still with him. But that was the empathy that Muhammad ﷺ had. So that's the video for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Jazak-Allah khairan. Until next time. Assalamu alaikum. Oh yeah. The sources I got from this were Juma Gems, thanks to them. I researched it from them, so yeah. Assalamu alaikum guys.